Okay, in terms of narrative, I really like what you did with it. I like that it isn't just a linear narrative, that there's reverse going on in there, and that you play the same narrative a few times. That's really nice. And conventions of a music video, how it looks as a music video, it's very stylistic. It's beautifully shot, and some really good colours in there, colour tints in there as well.
Yeah, the use of the forest where it's all taking place, I thought was really nice, using the trees and the forest floor and the lights and things that you'd set up there really work well. And going back to what Miss said, the narrative where it's very clear that there's the one point where it all changes, and that was the bit that, you know, back before it was all shot, that I was worried that would that come across, and I think you've actually done that quite well in terms of establishing that it's all about the choice of whether she takes the can or not.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure as well, because of knew you were having the reverse, but that shot at the end that hits the end of the music perfectly as well brings it all together, and it really did need.
Did you understand what it meant, or what did you interpret from that last shot?
Well, I thought she just hadn't made the choice yet, and we were left to decide whether or not what she was going to choose. And I like that kind of secretive, almost like Mona Lisa smile on her face, because she knows what she's going to do, but nobody else does.
Very much so. Yeah, it's kind of. It feels like, even though nothing's really happened, because none of those other options ever happened, it feels like she's learned something, which is weird. And I know you were talking about Donnie Darko before with that same effect, and it has that effect that you feel like she's, as a character, has gained something from the experience of the other alternate possibilities.
Yeah, it's almost like it's played through her head, isn't it?
In terms of representation of the genre and the music, do you think that it fits well with the lyrics, if you can hear them over the screechy noise?
Yeah, I mean, lyrically it's not I don't mean strong as in good, I just mean it's not strong lyrically, because it's not a song where you would sit and listen to the lyrics anyway, so it's
not
more
a catchy
about,
kind of tune.
So it's not a sing-along song, is it? So it's more where you would listen to the tone and the feel and the mood of the song, and that was captured brilliantly within it, I think.
Criticisms?
My criticism, and there's only really one, I think, and that's still that I feel you've gone over the heads of your target audience, in the sense that it's all pitched beautifully location-wise. The idea is not too complex and not too complicated. You take the audience with it all the way through, but all the people that you've spoken to who are not media students, or who are not, maybe even not quite the target audience, they haven't got what it was at the start. And I still feel that until he starts singing, we're not aware that it's a music video. It doesn't feel like a music video until that first shot where he's point of view of him singing. And I just feel that's a convention that has been missed, simply because none of them understood to be. If we hadn't have said it's a music video, I don't think some of them would have got it for a little while in.
Okay.
That's my only criticism.
So we need to somehow sort out the introduction.
It's literally the text, because it's beautiful, and that's the problem. It's beautiful, but it looks like a short film. Or a montage from Skins, Glue, whatever, because it's beautifully shot, but it looks like one of those bits there. And the problem is, if you don't know who this band are, and I didn't before they were brought to my attention by you guys, you don't know if Constant Conversations is the name of the band or Passion Pit is the name of the band, because it's not the conventional setup to say who and what, and maybe the music label as well, the record label, and that's the convention that would anchor it. Maybe it's putting on before that as well. Maybe it's a shot at the start that is a usual sort of MTV or music video one that has it properly, so people can understand who and what it is, and then you go into it and set it stylistically. Maybe that would work. But I just feel like it's a convention that's missed through you not knowing it, not through you not understanding it, but through choosing not to do it. And I think that choice is a mistake.
Okay.
I think if I had to pick out one thing, it would be partly it's the one that's less in your control, but it's the acting of the participants during the shoot, in that there are some moments where it's really nice and you really get the idea that she's after this one guy and that he's just a friend sort of thing in his mind. That does come across, but there's certain other moments, whether it's the girl spinning around with the sparklers and things, and she's got a very blank look on her face, and I feel I wanted it I wanted all of those actors to be really into it, and I think there was so much attention paid to how it looked and making sure you had all the shots you needed, which was fine, and that's really good. But I just felt there was slightly lacking in terms of getting the right performance from the main girl and some of the other people around. Again, it's not something that's easy to fix at this point, but in terms of future endeavours, then making sure that you put as much, if not more, effort into
the
people as to the
look.
technical accomplishment of it.
Yeah, because
Though that is very
nobody
strong.
hugs each other like this.
Yeah.
And she's holding the can with 3 fingers or something.
Yeah, there's just bits that I know for the shot looked really lovely, but I think just felt staged.
Yeah.
And obviously there are the limitations of you using volunteers and things
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
quite hard
for
to
it.
find people.
So in many ways it's completely understandable, but as a criticism, that is an issue that I've had with looking at it.
Okay.
Lots of video, lots of
and it happens
videos
with
of students, happens
all the time. Yeah.
And we had this discussion about, I think this was really initially before we even came up with this idea, when Hannah came up with the idea about an alcoholic in the woods. She had this idea about blurring some stuff out to make it look like she's drunk. Do you suggest that we do that on our video, or does it not need it?
I think it's fairly clear when she hits the deck that she
I think there's one or two moments where, after the montage of her drinking all the different drinks, you kind of lose her for I don't know, maybe 10 seconds or so, because you start looking at the singer and there's some other stuff that's going on. Yeah, the sparklers, exactly, and you lose her. And I think it's that thing that I felt like I just wanted to keep
track of her.
Yeah, keep track of her so that you could see the progression of her going from just drinking to suddenly not walking straight. And
so you're saying maybe put a shot in there, another one of her.
Yeah, just so
Yeah.
You know, you'd have to make sure it doesn't look out of place within that section, but it certainly felt like it needed something more.
Yeah, I know the bit you're talking about.
Yeah, because the only struggle with that bit again is about content, because she's lying down with a full bottle of wine with the lid still on, and it's not even been, you can see it's not even been cracked open. Now I know why. I know that you can't wander around with a full bottle of wine, drink half, whatever. I get that, but I think actually that should have been thought about previously. So poured away and a half filled with water or whatever, and her had the lid open and looked like she'd been drinking it. She looked a bit like she was just going to sit down with a full bottle of wine, or lie down with a full bottle of wine. But again, if you put that shot in before, you'll probably get more of that feeling that she's then drunk.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.